With over a week-long war between Russia and Ukraine, could it be that Elon Musk has insane air defense against Russia and other enemies? Watch this video until the end to learn more about it. Welcome to Elon Musk Era. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on our upcoming videos about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and more. Following its unprovoked invasion of Ukraine, Elon Musk claimed foreign government officials had requested that his satellite internet company, Starlink, block Russian news sources. The CEO stated in the tweet, "We will not do so unless at gunpoint." Musk said in the tweet, "Sorry to be a free speech absolutist." Despite Musk's clarification that Ukraine wasn't mentioned in the tweet, it is unclear which governments he is referring to. In addition, Russian news outlets such as RT serve as the global megaphone of Russian President Vladimir Putin, misleading audiences and deflecting attention from the issues at hand. Further, Russia's president signed a censorship bill into law that forbids news organizations to report the news accurately from or about the country. Additionally, Musk sent a truckload of Starlink antennas this week to Ukraine, responding to a plea by Ukraine's vice premier amid worries that the country might lose internet access if Russia goes ahead with attacks on communication infrastructure. Moreover, Elon's company, SpaceX, has said it is ready to save the International Space Station from Russia if it attempts to drop from orbit after threats from Vladimir Putin's space chief, mere hours after activating Starlink satellites to guarantee internet access to Ukrainians. On Twitter, Dmitry Rogozin warned that despite the widespread condemnation of the Russian invasion of Ukraine, Russia's expertise and technological advancement would have to be employed to keep the ISS in orbit and prevent it from crashing into either Europe or the US. So Rogozin tweeted, "If you block cooperation with us, who will save the ISS from an uncontrolled deorbit and fall into the United States and Europe?" Then, Elon, referring to this above, a Twitter user writes after translating Rogozin's tweet. So, he answered, SpaceX. Musk replied positively to a Twitter user who asked if this meant SpaceX would keep ISS from falling onto Earth, which Musk promptly responded with, yes. In another tweet, the head of Tesla and SpaceX dismissed the Russian segment from the ISS by suggesting a SpaceX Dragon could take its place. Then Musk tweeted, "Good thread." Additionally, Musk has responded to a request from the Vice President of Ukraine to provide satellite internet access from the embattled nation. In addition, Musk announced that Starlink has been activated in Ukraine following the Russian invasion that disrupted service throughout the country. As Vice Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov wrote in a tweet, at Elon Musk, "While you try to colonize Mars, Russia tries to occupy Ukraine. While your rockets successfully land from space, Russian rockets attack the Ukrainian civil people. We ask that you provide Ukraine with Starlink stations to address the sane Russians to stand." Following 3 days of rocket attacks by Russia, parts of Ukraine are without internet connectivity. In that country, locals are encouraged to stay connected so their stories can be used to counter Russian propaganda, and so that they can let everyone know of the atrocities being committed by Russian troops acting on behalf of Vladimir Putin. On record, a network of 2,000 Starlink satellites orbiting Earth at an altitude of 340 miles is operated by SpaceX in Hawthorne, California. In addition, Elon Musk's satellite venture recently installed free high-speed internet for Tonga villages that were cut off by a devastating volcanic eruption and tsunami in January. So it is not out of the question that something similar could be implemented quickly for Ukrainians. By using satellites, large volumes of information can be transmitted quickly and reliably anywhere on the planet, without the need for fiber optic cables. Meanwhile, Fedorov wrote in another Twitter post, "In 2022, modern technologies are one of the best responses to tanks, rockets, and missiles. I've addressed the biggest tech giants to support the sanctions for Russian Federation. We've asked them to help us stop this outrageous aggression on our people." Meanwhile, by the end of February, 2,142 Starlink satellites had been launched, since the first two were launched in February 2018. However, most of them have failed or have been decommissioned in space. And for its Starlink venture, SpaceX has even more ambitious plans and have already applied for authorization to launch a megacontinent consisting of 30,000 satellites. Let me share with you what Elon Musk is doing in Russia when it comes to the space industry. Testinus's founder, Mikhail Kokorich, and the public relations team for the serial entrepreneur has referred to him as Russia's Elon Musk, Further, this Russian businessman says that his company, Destinus, is constructing a hybrid aircraft that combines the attributes of an aircraft and a rocket. Also, a hydrogen-powered, zero-emissions, high-speed drone that can travel up to speeds of Mach 15. Using a glider as the platform, Destinus intends to combine the contemporary technological advances of a spaceplane with the ordinary physics of a hyperplane. With a hyperconnected world, this new hyperplane will serve the needs of the people. With this hyperplane, cargo can be transported between Europe and Australia within hours using clean hydrogen fuel. In the future, hyperplanes will be fully autonomous and they will take off from regular runways and travel to the coast before accelerating as fast as supersonic speeds. During an interview about drone discussions, Kokorik stated that this could be accomplished with a first-stage rocket engine known technology. Additionally, at altitudes of 160,000 feet, the rocket would be fired by a second-stage rocket engine to reach hypersonic speeds between Mach 13 and 15, and the air resistance is reduced significantly at such altitudes. According to Kokorik, the logic behind the technology is very straightforward. According to him, to move something from one place to another on Earth, energy must be expended in many directions. To begin with, gravity must be overcome. Furthermore, keeping the plane in the air is what you need to do to overcome gravity. Also, staying afloat for longer periods means more gravity losses. In the second case, there is air friction, while in the third case, there is maximum kinetic energy. Moreover, Kokorik is one of those who believe that he needs a rocket engine to propel his vehicle at high speeds. The result, he said, is more energy being expended to accelerate. Then, due to the hyperplane's high altitudes, it will travel 10 times faster and will lose very little air resistance. In such high altitudes, there is more than 10 times the amount of air than at 10 kilometers or 33,000 feet, which is about where most airplanes fly. According to Kokorik, this technology has drawn the attention of many people because it enables people to transport goods from continent to continent for less money than regular flights. And this may sound strange, but it's not. Then, simply expending less energy leads to a cheaper overall journey. The first step, according to Kokorik, is to develop a rocket engine that is capable of being reused, almost much like a jet engine, as well as a hydrogen cooling system that protects the aircraft structure. Under the power of dozens of megawatts per square meter, the structure can easily collapse. In the beginning, the plan is to transport urgent, valuable cargo, secure documents, medical supplies, and critical infrastructure. Then, as time passes, more common cargo will replace this in some instances. Moreover, Kokorik states that by flying high in the mesosphere, the hyperplane will produce a sonic boom 10 times less than usual. Destinus has 4 offices, one in Spain, one in France, one in Germany, and one in Switzerland. And to get started, it is raising a substantial amount of money, but more will need to be raised. Considering Elon Musk is said to be the one who will save the ISS from an uncontrolled deorbit when Russia gives up, what is the latest information about SpaceX's spaceship? Elon Musk, SpaceX's chief engineer, spoke from Starbase in Texas on February 10 about Starship. This reusable transportation system is capable of taking passengers and cargo to Earth orbit, the Moon, Mars, and beyond. Furthermore, Falcon 9 successfully launched 49 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit at Kennedy Space Center in Florida from Launch Complex 39A, or LC-39A. During Falcon 9's second stage, each satellite was injected into orbit it was intended to achieve with a perigee of approximately 210 kilometers above the Earth. Further, if a satellite fails initial system checks and is deployed into these lower orbits, the satellite will quickly be deorbited by atmospheric drag in the very rare event that it does not pass. As a result of this low deployment altitude, more capable satellites are required at a great cost. However, it is an essential step in maintaining a sustainable space environment. However, an incredibly powerful geomagnetic storm greatly impacted the satellites that were deployed. Then, the storms warm the atmosphere, which in turn increases atmospheric density at low deployment altitudes. Interestingly, onboard GPS indicates that the storm's intensity and speeds increased atmospheric drag by up to 50% compared to previous launches. To minimize drag and to take cover from the storm, the Starlink team put the satellites into safe mode and continued to provide updates via ground radars to the 18th Space Control Squadron and Leo Labs to monitor the satellites. and up to 40 satellites will re-enter or have already left the Earth's atmosphere due to the increased drag at low altitudes, which prevented them from leaving safe mode for orbit-raising maneuvers. By design, the deorbiting satellites pose no collision risk with other satellites, and by re-entering the atmosphere, they are destroyed, creating no orbital debris. Starlink's unique situation highlights the level of effort the team was willing to put into making sure that the system was at the cutting edge of debris mitigation on orbit. That's all for this video about Elon Musk's insane air defense against Russia and other enemies, and thank you for watching. If you would like to receive updates on Elon Musk and his companies, make sure you click the subscribe and bell button.